Managing your coronavirus related anxiety, guys, can be a really daunting task, especially if you're trying to also maintain your mental well-being at the same time. And I found that it can be very easy for you to start getting anxious and for you to start getting very fearful because you have no control over the situation and you're just asking yourself, when is this going to end? So today, because I have been able to experience this myself for the last almost 2 months, I am here to give you some tips of what I found out about myself and about some of the things you can do while at home to make sure that you're not going crazy. You might be thinking it's exciting to stay at home. Yes, it is, but it can get really boring, especially after a few days when boredom kicks in and you have no idea what to do. So stay tuned and I will be talking about this today. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Nilanya Kaur. Thanks for joining me again today. So today I would really like to talk about maintaining your mental health during this period of coronavirus lockdown, and especially for you guys who are just beginning to go into the lockdown and have no idea what it's like. I know I have talked about this before in my previous video, but I did not really touch on some of the very fundamental things you can do to keep yourself going and of course maintaining yourself and keeping sane. So follow me and let's have a look at the first thing you should do right now if you haven't done this yet. The very first thing you must do is maintain a routine as much as you can. We all know the importance of routine, and especially when we have so much time on our works, and especially for people with little kids. When you have little kids, when you have little children, it can be very difficult for you to juggle between having to work from home and also making sure your kids are doing their homework or even doing that online study that has been recommended by your children's school. So how do you deal with this situation? I found it very useful for me waking up every morning, knowing what I have to do at particular times of day, because remember, if you wake up in the morning and you have all the time in the world, it's not easy to be bombarded by so many things that you want to do but don't know where to start or where to begin. And if you have no idea where to start, most of the time you'll find your children getting a little bit finicky, getting a little bit impatient because there is no structure in their life, and especially kids who are very young, perhaps the age of 5 or so. So try to give them a specific routine and make them understand, and while you're making that routine, try to also involve them in this particular routine. Sit down with them with a piece of paper each and ask them, what do you want to do tomorrow, and do this the day before. And then make sure they pin that in their bedrooms or in a particular space where it's very visible to them. And because they are taking part in this, they will be happy to take part in this new routine because it is their timetable after all. So they do feel very productive at that particular point. And in the process, while they are busy doing their routines, you also find a little bit of time for you to be able to work, because most people have to work and your boss is not going to feel sorry for you just because you have kids. For those people who are single or people who live by themselves, it's not as easy as well. All you need to do is also sit down and create a timetable of things you want to do the following day. Now, don't wake up in the morning and start gazing into the skies and hoping that somebody is going to drop a routine or a timetable for you. You have a lot of time before you go to bed. Take a piece of paper, take a pen or a pencil, write down every single thing you want to do, and especially within every hour. And also don't forget to give yourself a break. Otherwise, you will be finding yourself just sitting there, lying there, watching TV all day, and the best thing you can do, or perhaps the most you can do with your day, is get up from the couch, going to the fridge and grabbing something to eat. And in the process, you're not really helping yourself mentally and even physically. So try to maintain your routine as much as possible. And what happens when that routine gets boring? You don't know what to do. You've been doing the same thing. You've been following your routines every day and you're running out of ideas. Well, here's where we go to number 2. Number 2, I found this very useful, especially for people like me who have hoarded a lot of clothing. I've just realized how obsessed I was shopping for clothing, and a lot of them that I don't end up wearing, or a lot of them that I have not been able to give away. They've been sitting in my wardrobe for many years. So what I did is I decided to go back and watch the Marie Kondo show. If you don't know what Marie Kondo show is, just go ahead and Google it and you'll find it and try to watch it. So basically, Marie Kondoing is a concept I've really found really useful at this time. When I got bored about, sitting down and watching a specific TV show, trying to cook a new dish, cleaning, exercising a bit, it gets boring because then your mind gets used to that particular routine, and you want to also make things exciting. So instead of working out and doing exercises or watching videos or workout routines from YouTube, I decided, well, how about decluttering? Decluttering is a good way to also physically exercise while you are cleaning up your own space. When you go to your wardrobe, you find that you've got so many shoes you haven't worn in so many years. You've got so many old t-shirts that you're wondering, why are you still holding on to that? So decluttering, and especially for you guys, if you do have a partner with you, if you do have children especially, and everyone has their own space and they can't declutter, create a box somewhere and you say, classify the best things they would love to keep, the things that they're not sure out, and then the things they would absolutely like to get rid of. So when it comes to absolutely getting rid of, that means it goes into one particular box for everyone at the same time. When it comes to the maybe boxes, this is when, once everyone is done, bring it to the living room, bring your boxes for the maybes, and then hold it up and try it on if it's possible. Then have everyone else judge whether it's a yes or a no. If the majority of people voted as a no, then you gotta throw it into the absolutely no box, and that way you'll find that you'll be consuming time. You will be making your space look much better. If you've been complaining about not being able to have a space in your wardrobe, you'll realize you actually do have a lot of space when you find time and declutter. And this takes a lot of your time. It consumes a lot of your time. And of course, remember to do your work, because yes, we are decluttering, but try to do this at intervals when you're not supposed to be working. But for those of you who have a lot of time at your hands and you can't afford to use an entire day in decluttering your wardrobe, decluttering your kitchen, it's exciting. It sounds boring, but it is exciting. So what else can you do during this time on lockdown? You cannot go out, the gyms are closed. Well, I find that starting at home routine and figuring out all those things you've always wanted to try out. For example, I did find trying out yoga moves that I used to do when I was a child, even though I didn't know they were yoga moves, have been quite helpful for me when it comes to exercise. So it's not about just lifting your dumbbells. It's just not about doing lunges. It's not about doing push-ups or pull-ups. Of course, I don't do pull-ups because I don't have the bar in my apartment. But if you try out those moves you see people doing on Instagram, especially the yoga poses, for me to motivate myself even more is try to get myself into different exercises like Pilates. So I did go to the Pilates and yoga section and got myself a t-shirt and some new pants, because when I got home, I was encouraged to put them on and try out this move. So I've been trying out, headstands. I've been trying out, the leg splits. I'm quite horrible at it, but I'm getting there. It's encouraging me to get up from my sofa, to get up from my bed, and instead of just being a lazy body, I'm actually getting up every day and trying out some new move. So go out there. Don't go out there, because if you're in lockdown and the rules right now state do not go outside because of self-isolation, stay in your home, create space in your living room, put the table on top of the chairs, crank up that YouTube channel, crank up that video you've got before, a DVD you have about exercising, and try out something new. And you will surprise yourself and realize that it's not all doom, gloom and despondency, because there are so many exciting things we can do during this time when we are under lockdown. And it's really helpful for you to keep moving, to keep in motion, to get active, to make sure that mentally you're staying fit as much as you are physically staying fit as well. Now, having done all that, what else can you do? Now, keep in mind that you cannot control everything that is happening right now. So try to engage your mind and body in positive thinking. Because remember, you cannot control, like I said, you cannot control the situation out there, but you do have some sort of self-control when things that you can control, not self-control. Of course, self-control is also advised, but you do have things that you can't control to make the situation better. You can control control how many times you wash your hands. You can't control staying away from crowds. You can't control self-distancing from other people, because these are the things that if you do, you'll realize that the whole world is in this together. And if we all try to do these little simple things that we're being advised by our government, by our local authorities to do every day, then the situation will be contained very, very quickly. And the sooner this thing goes away, the sooner we're going to get back to our normal lives. So don't just assume just because I am not sick, or I don't know anybody who's been sick, if it's happening to other people and I am invincible. Try not to think like that. Those are some of the ignorant comments I've been hearing or reading about on social media, and you're not really helping the situation, and you're not really actually helping other people. If you're busy out there going out and not following the rules and regulations that have been put in place, you're making other people feel very, very anxious. You're making other people feel very nervous, because it means they have no control of the future, which means we're going to be stuck in this situation for many days. There's so many people. I want to go on holiday. I'm sure you want to go on holiday. So many people want to go on holiday, but we cannot move. I cannot even take a bus and go to the next neighborhood that easily without overthinking things. And when we live in this overthinking scenario and overthinking dystopian kind of life, it's making it really, really difficult for us to be mentally healthy or to feel mentally fit. So what I'm trying to say, just know, even though there are things that you cannot control, there are things you can. And those things that you cannot control, if the government is telling you to stay at home, please stay put. If you're being told not to go visit your boyfriend or your girlfriend who lives in a completely different city, maybe this is the time for you to consider perhaps moving in permanently. And when you move in, whoever moves to the other's address permanently, try to go through the 14-day quarantine before you can start making movements outside of your home. That way you will make sure that you are staying safe, you're staying safe here, you're making other people feel comfortable in being on earth at this particular moment, and in the process you're helping the system get rid of coronavirus, hopefully once and for all. The other thing that you can't do is, if you feel that you've done everything you can and you're feeling overwhelmed by the situation, you don't know what else to do, I find sitting down and meditating. If you're the kind of person who likes to meditate and just listen to your body, listen to how you're breathing. So sit down, take a breather. There's so many apps out there that can help you with meditation. If you're not someone who's ever done meditation, these apps can help you. Just download them. Some of them are free, some of them are not, and there's so many ways they can help you to concentrate and stay in this particular moment. And while you are at that, you'll realize that your mind is staying calm, you're becoming more positive, you're realizing that even though you have no control of the situation now, it's going to be better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the day, we all know that these are some of the tools that we can use to make sure that we are staying sane at this particular moment of coronavirus, when nobody knows when this thing is going to go away. So try to stay at home, try to keep calm, try to pray, try to meditate, do yoga, do Pilates, try a dancing class, try a dancing routine. If you've ever tried doing ballet, try doing ballet. It's not easy. I've tried it myself, but it's something that can keep you really, really busy and occupied. And when you're occupied, your mind will be occupied, and your mind will be excited when you're learning new things, because once you learn a new thing, then it becomes something that makes you happy. It becomes like sort of an achievement, and everybody likes to have to feel some sort of an achievement in their life. So guys, if you're just starting out on this lockdown thing and you have no idea what else you can do, feel free to send me some of the things you've been doing. And if you feel that there are things you would like to try out or you've tried out and are not helping, please let me know. I will be really, really happy to again try to give you some advice, try to also incorporate what you've been doing in my own life. For me, it's been almost 2 months of being under lockdown. I mean, I do sound energetic right now, and probably you're asking, why are you so energetic? Well, that's because as part of my routine, I have to wake up in the morning and pretend the day is normal. So I wake up, I shower, I have my coffee, I go for a walk around the compound, and when I come back home after an hour of a nice walk, or just staying outside, jumping rope, I feel refreshed. It feels like I just came back from work and my day has progressed as usual. So once again, if you do like this video, please try to give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really like you to just press the button and subscribe. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, if you've got any suggestions, I'll be happy to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm hoping you're staying safe, you're staying healthy. Do not, again, I repeat, neglect your mental health well-being. Try to do exercises that will make sure you're not going crazy at home. Otherwise, I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for joining me.